Hey, it's Rachel from All About Planners. In this video, I'm doing a review of the Time and Snail planner. So I did receive a copy of these planners for free in exchange for this review, but as always, I'm going to say what I think regardless of whether I paid for the planner or not. So there are two versions. The only difference is the cover, so this nice pinky purple cover, or the usual black. So if you follow me, you'll probably know which one I'm going to go for, the pinky purple cover. So let's have a closer look. So you probably noticed as I was talking that it says it's a non-dated daily planner. You do also still get weekly and monthly pages as well. Now it says it's last 100 days. However, there are more than like I think there's about 6 monthly calendars. So if you don't use each day, like every single day, maybe you don't need a daily planner on a Sunday, for example, then it could last a little bit longer. So probably last you about like 3, 4, maybe even 5 months. Okay, the page size, it is about A5 page size, pretty typical for sewn bound notebooks. It's about 5.75 by around about 8.5 inches high. I will have the exact dimensions linked in the description box below to the blog post that will go with this planner video. It is quite chunky because it does have all the daily, weekly, and monthly spreads. I'd say it's about 1 inch thick. It does feel a little bit on the heavy side because of all those pages, so keep that in mind if you want to take it with you. You've got a built-in pen loop, nothing on the spine, just looks like an ordinary notebook. Let's have a look at the inside. So the pages are kind of like a creamy colour. They're not bright white, they're more creamy, and they are a bit thin. As you can see, the back side of the design is showing through on this side, which is a little bit unfortunate, but I can kind of understand why they had to do that because there's so many pages in this. If they used a thicker paper, then it would become even more heavier and even more fatter. So kind of, I guess, unavoidable. Like, what trade-off do you prioritize most? Now it's undated, so you can start planning whenever you like. Starts on a Monday. I kind of like this snail reference throughout. I think that's something a bit different. They do have it on the weekly as well, which I'll show you in a sec. So this is what I mean by all the monthly calendars. There's more than 3, I think there's about 6. I will double check that for you. So all of the months are clustered together at the front, which I really like when planners do that. To me, that's a lot more logical than just interspersing it between all the weekly spreads, especially when it's an undated planner and you might be stopping and starting using it. Pretty purple built-in ribbon bookmark and a pink one too. The pages are laying flat relatively on their own, as you can see. Laying flat, and I'm not in the middle of the book either, so that's good. The line spacing is really big. I measured it before, it was about 1 centimeter for each line, so if you have big handwriting, this could be a good planner for you. So, sorry, I just jumped ahead a bit. Should have done the weekly spreads first, and then the daily. So logically it goes monthly, weekly, and then daily. So on the weekly, so I was talking about the cute snail reference, you've got weekly goals, weekly to buy list, a habit tracker which starts on a Monday, which is consistent with the monthly calendar, which is good. And then we have this 1-page weekly spread over here. Saturday and Sunday share the same amount of space as one weekday. However, you do get the daily pages as well if you do need a bit more detail, and you could also just put some of your Saturday, Sunday overflow, down here as well if you wanted to. So after all of the weeklies, we jump to the morning, the daily, which you saw before. So you've got morning due, which I thought was cute with the snail reference, and then they've got an evening recap section. So if we just go to one that doesn't have a bookmark in it, you've got a today's focus, to-do list, hourly schedule, appetite, which I'm assuming is food tracker, and then 1 cleaning task, which I like that because I don't want to really do more than 1 a day. Evening recaps, today's progression, highlight, journaling, notes, new idea, and then bad habits repeated. Probably wouldn't bother with this section or need that much space, but it's there if you want to, if you're trying to build up your habits. Now, I do like this layout because I do like that most daily planners have the to-do list and the hourly schedule. However, I think it could be even better if they remove that 6 a.m., which appears on all of the daily pages, because then it's like some people don't start at 6 a.m. and then they haven't bothered to fill in the rest of them. So it's kind of like, why'd you fill in one? I'd probably just delete that off altogether. So then you can start at whatever you like. You could go hourly intervals or half-hourly intervals, even 15 minutes if you want. Or you could just jump and go like 9 a.m. I have this appointment, at 2 p.m. I got another appointment, and use it that way. So I do like that you can still customize it, and you do have that big notes section if you want to add more lists or whatever else you want to use it for. And as you can see, the undated is the entire way throughout, monthly, weekly, and the daily spreads. You get a lot of these. There's 100 of them, and it's 2 pages per day, hence why the planner is a bit thick to accommodate all of those. If we go to the back of the notebook, there are some lined notes pages, which again retain that big line spacing, which is about 1 centimeter apart. Sorry about the lighting, it's probably going to storm here today, so not the best lighting. At the back here we have a pocket folder, which is pretty roomy, and I think I mentioned it before, the pen loop, which is great, and then the elastic band to keep everything enclosed. And that is it for this notebook. So If I take off the packaging on the front, you can see that it does have something on the front, like the brand name. It's not just plain cover. I do like when they put what the planner is on the front, otherwise it's just like not really anything special, you know what I mean? So we've got this pink cover, or there is the black one if you prefer. I definitely like this pink color one though. I think that's a lot nicer. Anyway, I will have all of the details, the size and all that stuff, all the specs in the blog post, which will be linked below. Don't forget to subscribe. I usually post a couple of review videos each week.